on this particular platform to brainstorm us on this particular topic, gamification in learning. Over to you, Ma.
Thank you very much, Laila ma'am. It's a very humbling an introduction that you gave us. It's indeed my privilege and honor to be introduced by such a wonderful educationist as yourself. Once again, a very warm good evening to all the participants present here. I express my deep gratitude to Dr. Priyadarshi Nayak, who's the founder of CED Foundation. He's also been my mentor and guide at a variety of occasions. And I hope he joins us this evening, though I do understand he may be a bit busy with the CBSE examinations. Nonetheless, I warmly welcome and cordially welcome all of you present here into today's session. So before I start sharing my screen, I'd like to ask you a very basic question. We can use the chat box to answer the questions that I have for you. In case if you have a question for me, you can note it down and we'll take it up towards the end of the session. I'll be quite happy to answer as many questions as I can for all of you. So in the chat box, you can tell me what are the kinds of classrooms that we face in today's day and age, particularly post-pandemic. Okay, so we have smart class. Aisha saying that. Is that all that we face? Vedavali says skill development class. Wonderful, Vedavali. Any more answers? I'd love to have an interactive session. Handwriting and painting. Yes, we do understand handwriting has suffered in the pandemic with the online classes. Aisha says activity-based class. Now all the students need a lot of activities. And Laila ma'am herself says it's a challenge to manage classes these days. Wonderful. So let me put forth another question to you. Do our students have complete discipline in our classes while we are teaching or transacting the curriculum? You can put a Y or an N in the chat box. Oh, so now a lot of people have started saying no. Lovely. Lovely. Have we ever tried to introspect? What causes this indiscipline? What causes this misbehavior in our classrooms? We always tend to feel that we have the maximum preparation for our lessons. There is nothing that we have not prepared, nothing that we haven't carried. There's nothing that we haven't done to make our classes interesting. So what is it that we are still lagging behind with that causes this? Would you want to mention one word or something in the chat? What is this root cause? Involvement of students. Aisha, brilliant. Sajni says behavioral issues in students. Okay. Anjali Basroor says to keep the class involved. Shivangi says lack of trading due to online classes during the pandemic. Okay. But from the answers that I am seeing on the chat, I do realize one thing very clearly, that many of us do feel that the students are less involved in the classes. Now, what makes them less involved? Vedhavali says communication problem. Okay. Yes, the classes are absolutely disinteresting, Aisha. Very good. And what makes these classes disinteresting? It is us, the teachers. Now imagine me having come here today and started off with some kind of a talk, trying to bore you to death in this 1 hour and a little more that we have together. Okay, so Shivangi Trivedi says lack of online apps that were used during the pandemic and easily distracting concentration, says Deepali Hate ma'am. All right. So, you know, it's so easy. I was just attending a CBSE webinar a couple of minutes ago. And there I realized that this gentleman spoke so much sense. A normal student now has, or a normal human being today, has an attention span of 4 seconds. Just 4 seconds. Beyond that, the child is lost. A human being is lost. So what are we doing to sustain interest for 40, 45 minutes? That's a very, very important question. And gamification is that one tool. Yes, Sunita says it's more of one-way teaching and communication rather than two-way, involving them, knowing that they can't concentrate for long. Wonderful. So what happens is, it's because we are not involving them. You remember the Chinese proverb, I see and I may remember. I hear and I may. Do you remember that proverb? I see and I may remember. I hear and I may dash. Nobody? I hear and I may forget. Involve me and I will understand. That's the way the proverb goes. And it's also a clue to inquiry-based learning when you use that proverb in the classroom. Nonetheless, coming back to our main topic, it's basically trying to interact with the students using a creative set of tools, techniques, pedagogies. Yes, so Deepali Hate ma'am says activities should be interesting. Students should be involved in whatever we do with them. That's absolutely bang on, Deepali ma'am. And so let me go back to the PPT now, because I wanted you all to be in a background where we talk a little more. I would love to have this session interactive. I will try and make you play some of the gamification models that I have used in my classrooms. And these do keep the learners interested. But once again, something that holds us back is time. Something that holds us back is the big tension that we carry on our heads. And that's the only one tension that any teacher across the nation carries on the head, which is syllabus completion. Though being competency-based all along now, we still carry that burden on our head. And class control and discipline we carry on our head and our shoulders. Nonetheless, if we try and include gamification in our teaching learning pedagogies, it will make a big difference in the way we conduct our classes. So let me quickly present my screen. At any point in time, you have a question for me. Note down your questions with you somewhere in your notepad or something, and we shall take it on at the end of the session. So this is something I want to share with you. This is something Laila ma'am very well introduced me for. And this important message I remember from John Dewey as well, where he said that if we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, then we are only robbing them of their precious tomorrow. So we need to very, very categorically change our teaching learning strategies. So why do we play games? Do we play games? You can write yes or no in the chat. I will keep the chat box open at all times. I love interacting with participants. Yes, we all play games. I have a mobile in my hand. Like Anjali ma'am says, we refresh ourselves. So I'm holding a mobile in my hand. And given the opportunity, I play a lot of games. We refresh ourselves, we learn concentration. Pranali says to develop physical development, we play games. We play a lot of games. Limit the screen time. Okay. Yet we play a lot of games. Barely a few of us, okay, Dipali says, enjoy the challenge to achieve a reward. Yes. We do everything to challenge ourselves. And Dhanlakshmi says for relaxation, while Pranali says physical activities help to the brain to become active. And Sunita ji says socializing. Absolutely. So there are many reasons why we play games. We can introduce students to indoor and outdoor games and we recharge ourselves. Brilliant. So now particularly, on the mobile, I think most of us, okay, so Prachi Agarwal has also woken up and joined us and she's saying gamification helps in enjoying learning. Okay, thank you. So most of us play Candy Crush. I think if you're not yet playing it, you would have played it in the past. It was a one-time to-do game. And has anybody not played Candy Crush? You can write N in the chat if you've not played Candy Crush. So everyone's played Candy Crush in life, right? Wow. Great. Brilliant. So have you realized there is something in Candy Crush that at one point in time made you play it again and again and again? So Vedavali says kids play indoor games, it will develop fine motor skills. Okay, Vedavali, but right now we are talking about Candy Crush. We do understand that you want to take them outdoors or indoors. You want to keep them out of the mobiles. But currently we want to play Candy Crush and an imaginary Candy Crush. So when we are playing Candy Crush, visualize the game in front of you. And when you visualize this Candy Crush game in your presence, you will realize that there is something that makes you play that game again and again. What is it that makes you play it again and again? Points, rewards. Wonderful, Sunita. Just the points and rewards? Do you think that's enough? Urge to reach the next level. Absolutely, Anjali ma'am. Curiosity to achieve more. That's the tagline. And it's crazy. It has an attractive interface. You go up one level. But what happens if you don't clear a level? If you keep going up by one level, you will be bored of the game. The fun is when you don't clear a level. So what happens if you don't clear a level? You're upset? I don't think so. You lose lives. Okay, Anjali ma'am. Shivangi is bang on bullseye. Curiosity to try again. You've not cleared a level. You do feel a bit left out. But you have this curiosity within you that you wanted to clear it. So you will play that level multiple times to clear a level. Now, Fasiha, I believe that's the name. There is no fear of losing in a Candy Crush game. It's a win-win situation. It lets you play as many times as you want until you clear a level. Only thing is, if you play too much, either you're addicted to the game or you lost your lives, and then you have to give a time lapse of certain minutes before you can start playing again. So, yes, can you imagine education just like Candy Crush? Imagine a unit of a chapter that you have just taught in your class. And if you were to make it like Candy Crush, what would you do? No answers. So imagine I was to teach maybe a grammar lesson. Ritika, I cannot make a grammar lesson addictive, right? If I tell my student underline the preposition and the child underlines it incorrectly, I cannot tell the child, come on, do it 3 times or 5 times. Today's children will not do it. So what am I going to do to make it an addictive grammar lesson? Where I don't have to tell the child, do it 3 times or 5 times, but the child will himself or herself do it multiple times. Break it into small chunks when they understand it clearly. Okay. Padma Shri Yadati. Okay. I hope I pronounce it right. Okay. You include creativity. Okay. Make it like a Candy Crush game. Introduce it like a game. And let the children play. Yes. Anjali also very clearly says, play like a game, give clues, use diversified methods like Laila ma'am says. Now, when you use these multiple kind of methods, today a child knows that this is a preposition which is probably incorrect. Like Candy Crush, if you have a hard level, super hard level, extremely hard level, easy level, medium level, you make these difficulty levels following the Bloom's taxonomy in your grammar sentences and create a game. So if there is a game created, the child will keep revisiting it. I will give you examples from social science, from NEP, from other things also. just to give you a clue or a wide sample of how we can create small things into beautiful gamification lessons and use it as a tool in our classrooms. So I hope you understood the concept of making games addictive. Now, this is something I got at Minecraft. This I found is a very interesting social science game. And when you look at the learning objectives of this game, students will understand social justice movements across history. They will research important persons and various social justice movements and their role within those movements. Students will understand important social justice movements, leaders, the purpose behind them. And an entire Minecraft game has been created by somebody for an hour duration. And if you see the age group, it's a very wide age group, people across all students in particular, across all age groups, until class 12 can play it easily. So how do you think this type of application helps teachers and students in the learning process? If you see, Minecraft has these games and they have these badges. You have a beginner, you are certified, you are a mentor. 3 levels of badges. Now, these are also the kind of learners we have in our class. Beginners, certified people, and the mentors. Mentors are normally those students whom we assign as buddies in the classroom to those who are beginners. And the certified ones are those who can stay on in the classroom. They normally manage to struggle or study well and stay on top of the level. But mentors are the outstanding ones, and they are usually buddies to the other 2 levels, which are need-based. And in particular to the beginner level. They support the beginner level to come up to the certified level. So how do you think this type of an application helps in our classroom teaching? Any one-liner or a word that you'd like to share? The chat is absolutely open for all of you. I love interacting with all the participants. Have you tried this buddy system in the classroom where students, it's a peer learning system? Yes, students only solve each other's doubts, right? It involves students. So it's like gaining a badge. You know that this child is above average. They enjoy helping each other. And, you know, if you tell a student to approach a teacher or an adult in the school to clear a doubt, the student may sometimes hesitate. But when you have a buddy in the class who's also a peer and a friend and easy to access, easy and open to communicate, you will obviously want to share that doubt with your buddy who will help you solve it. So it's a very important thing. So we today call them buddies because we are old school. But modern day learning methods will start calling them beginners, certified, mentors. And the mentors help the beginners. That's all. These are just badges that we have created. And this is something we have discussed in the beginning only today of the session. That why are these students disengaged? Okay, Parvati ma'am has joined us with cooperation and competition in the chat. Thank you, Parvati ma'am. Now, why are these students not learning the way we wanted them to? Again, we came to this conclusion in the beginning of the session that they are disengaged. And therefore, we have a lot of these discipline issues in our classrooms. And how are we going to get greater learner attention? So we are going to devise gamification models for our students to keep them completely engaged in our classroom. And like I told you, learner's attention is 4 seconds only. So beyond these 4 seconds, we have to do something different. Now let's take a quick look at what is gamification. The main objective of this system is to enable students to be engaged, recognize their interests, know what to learn, and create a self-learner attitude. The gamification approach will definitely satisfy this goal. And there are game elements which include progressing techniques or progression, narration. There may be actions, there will be challenges. You know, all the 21st century skills that we talk about throughout our teaching learning transaction of the curriculum are all a part of gamification: problem solving, creativity, critical thinking, communication, curiosity, social connect, values, fun, a kind of discovery that, okay, I knew so much. Then the countdown to the game. You know, it's like sitting on a KBC hot seat and playing a game. Not that you're going to become a crorepati by playing a game created by your teachers, but the fact that your teacher created a game and kept you engrossed in the learning process is very, very important. Immediate feedback. You know, if you use gamification, even as a revision test, it gives you immediate feedback about your learners' progress, achievement, and where they stand in a class. If you had to take a revision test or a worksheet and manually evaluate every worksheet, it could sometimes even be cumbersome for teachers. But gamification lets you do it in a fraction of a second. I will show you one example and you will really understand the benefit of gamification. So it's not just designed for fun alone and enjoyment. It is an instructional approach that can be used to enhance the effectiveness of the instruction on student learning. And when we talk about gamification, it caters to both kinds of models: the instructor-led model and the computer-based model. So it caters to both these models. It puts both these models together also at times and lets you create your one single game for gamification as a tool in learning. So just for a brief history, I will tell you that gamification was coined as a term by Nick Pelling in the year 2002. Foursquare gave it momentum by 2009. By 2018, it became a $5.5 billion US industry. Today, it's a ubiquitous term. Just as you can't do without Candy Crush, you can't do without gamification. And how are we going to create a desired impact through gamification? It's higher learner engagement. It's an immersive approach. Like, you can't tell a child to do corrections 3 times, 5 times. The child will not do it. But you give a game through the gamification model and the child will do it multiple times. It leads to high recall because it's subject related, better retention, improved application of the acquired learning skills on the job, reinforcement if the child plays it multiple times, challenges that stimulate a refresh or review of the primary learning resources. So there may be concepts that you want to test through gamification. Feel free to test them. They trigger a change in thinking because now that attention span, which was away from the class, has come back to class. And every day, the child may wonder, what is my teacher going to come up with today? I had fun playing that particular game. Has my teacher brought something new for me today? So it's also going to influence behavioral change. So there is something that we need to do as a very concerted effort. When we talk about gamification, there are certain things that we can use, like challenges, the easy, difficult, medium, hard, super hard. Levels. So each level signifies a level of proficiency: beginner, certified, proficient, mentor. Gives an instant feedback to the student and the teacher. The scores are indicators of performance closely aligned to offering a sense of accomplishment. Badges are given, which reflect significant accomplishments. So maybe to earn a badge, you need to complete 5 or 10 or 15 levels. There are leaderboards. So if the whole class is playing together, like have you played KBC fastest finger? If you've done that, then you would know you get to see a leaderboard with the number of seconds or fraction of a second in which the answers have come and whether they are right or wrong. So this kind of a leaderboard is also available in certain gamification tools. Plus competition. It's a very healthy competition. The entire class wants to come first. And you leave the game open for multiple playtime and you see the fun they have. Collaboration. It's a team building spirit. So if I don't know the game, I can't crack a particular level. I will automatically collaborate with my classmates, ask them how they did it, and I would want to do it. And I will seek their help in doing it. And to crack a level of a game, trust me, the entire standard will help, not one division. So why do we need gamification? Learners will explore concepts, make strategic decisions, receive immediate feedback, willingly re-engage after unsuccessful attempts. That's the crux of gamification. Now, gamification includes game elements and non-game processes because game elements are there. We will create multiple games, but we are not talking about game-based learning, which is like an animation or a VFX or something. No, we are not talking about that. We are talking about using apps which are easily available to us and including non-game processes directly related and linked to our curriculum into creating a game model for our students. So that is game-based learning versus gamification. Let's take a quick look. Game-based learning uses games to meet the learning outcome. The learning comes from playing the game. It promotes critical thinking and problem solving. It can be accomplished with digital and non-digital games. So sometimes you may want to take them outdoor, indoor. You may want to play a board game. It involves simulation to allow students to experience the learning. But gamification in particular, adding inspired game elements to your course content, applying game mechanics to a non-game environment to encourage good behavior. Experience points may be used as a substitute for traditional grades. It typically incorporates badges, awards, achievements. Sometimes the awards even are gold bars and gamification currencies. Bonus levels could provide students with the choice in the learning path. With gamification, another very important thing is that students automatically take the responsibility of their own learning. That's also something we've learned at NEP. Now, there is a gamification model here which talks about mechanics, measurement, behavior, and reward. Okay. Now, mechanics involve storytelling, visual cues, interactive objects, reward schedule, boundaries, progression, social feedback. So I'll show you each of these parts one by one. So when you talk about key elements of gamification, it deals with mechanics and storytelling, where the overall narrative of the game in motion defines its purpose. It could be a quest, it could be an adventure, it could just be a simulation. And it's often executed through visual cues, interactive objects. However, players normally are our students. There are boundaries and goals set because it's mapped to our learning outcomes. There could be rewards. There could be penalties. You can't move to the next level. There may be element of social feedback where players are able to engage with each other. Like sometimes you often have this social gamification where you can seek help from your team players. So maybe you have groups in your class and mixed groups, of course, and they form a team, and then as a social network, they play together. That could also be an option. But the learner is in charge of his or her learning. That's the most important thing. So I have something in the chat here. Let me just take a quick look. Okay. So measurement refers to how progress in gamification is evaluated. So there are various types and scales of measurement. So if you are very good at this gamification model, you earn a reputation of being a great player. It is an achievement. It is your status symbol. The performance, which refers to how a task is carried out, the quality, which refers to the level of excellence attained. Completion of the task refers to the degree of at which the task is fulfilled. Quantity refers to the numerical amount of time taken, or how much of the game have you played, in how much time have you played. So it is a test of time, speed, and accuracy. How quickly was the task done? And ultimately, the meaning refers to the interpretation or learning that a player derives from the game. Then we look at behavior, which is the third part of the gamification model. Now, if you continue playing a game every day for a month or so, you start receiving loyalty points. These loyalty points could be in the form of stars or gold bars, some kind of a motivation to come back, or candies to come back and play this game every day. This is done through higher engagement of the learners. Then there will be some problem solving tasks, which will be higher order thinking skills in play. There will be competency based tasks. So only if you clear a super hard level with a particular skill in you to solve it, will you reach the next level. Healthy competition in the classmates, a lot of cooperation and synthesis is developed by combining knowledge, skills, and abilities as a result of multitasking, because everyone wants to reach the final destination of learning. And ultimately, something that we all play for, the reward. It's a fulfilling feeling to reach the end of a game or the end of a level and win something. You could even win a crown, but you have to win something. So there is recognition, like I'm at the top of the leaderboard. There's an achievement, there's a badge, I'm proficient, I am a mentor, I am something beyond mentor. You can devise these terms. You could be winning valuables, gold bars, candies, coins, some ball, some hammer, whatever you win, which are useful as tools in your game. Like if you play certain quiz games, you can come out of you can bail yourself out of a question. You can double your points, something simple, but very interesting. Oh, my points double. That's that kind of a thing. Time bonus in the next question. Those kind of things can really help. So something that causes enjoyment while playing the game. So you're creating value in your game. Features: it captures attention, engages and entertains learners, challenges them, adds creativity, teaches them, and creates more connections. And games as an educational tool have effectiveness, engagement, and provide immediate feedback. Gamification in learning takes you from creating challenges, illustrating progress, unlocking achievements to a sense of accomplishment. There are games that you can create where each user creates his or her profile. So the user profile is there. There are algorithms which help you create these profiles. And this is a very much computer game that I found from the IT. So user profiles have a lot of skills and achievements here, which deal with IT sector. But we can use these kind of things even for our classrooms, where the skills and achievements of a student are mentioned there, and the progress bar fills as they clear certain levels of your game. Then there are two particular types of gamifications. One is content-based, one is structural. Content-based typically leverages story, curiosity, challenge, and character, which is more on the game-based learning. But the structural-based is the gamification model in particular, which is badge-based, score and level-based, leaderboard, achievement-based. Now, when to use gamification, that is important. We talk about gamification, but it is not in every lesson or in every day's classroom that you would want to use gamification. Mind you, if there is an alternative to gamification, please use that. Use gamification only when it is going to make 100% participation. When you think you need to test a particular concept of the students and you want an immediate feedback, seriously consider using gamification only then. So these are sample badges. You can see advocate, inventor, certified excellence, explorer. This is a leaderboard. Entire class is playing. You can see how many students are at what level. Benefits: increases level of engagement. It isn't limited to the classroom. The student can even play from home. It improves collaboration, reinforces the concept learned with retention, provides learners with options regarding their present level task and speed of completion. So it encourages positive behavior with instant feedback. Okay. Now, there are a lot of gamification apps easily available, free. So Quizlet helps you develop flashcards. So if you're using flashcards, you can take it on. Initially, it is free, but at a later stage, you have to pay for it. Then Kahoot helps you make the typical KBC kind of MCQs. So Kahoot.it is the app. It lets you create your own MCQs with 4 options and lets the players play. Edmodo is another useful tool. It lets the teacher create videos, movies, questionnaires, worksheets, everything. Now you want a student to view maybe 4 minutes of your video. So you put the video there and say, watch for the first 4 minutes of the video till this time and answer the questions that follow. You put in the questions, the student will answer the questions and you will get the result of the answers as well. So this is a very nice thing. You can have your entire classroom onto Edmodo. Okay, now I'll come to Word Wall. I have multiple games created on Word Wall. I have created them on Kahoot as well. But I think Word Wall is a nice thing to share with you on this platform. So currently in the chat box, I will first put my Word Wall link. And I'm going to make you play a very, very simple game here. It's very general. It's about states and capitals of India. I'll share my link so you can immediately play the game. Just allow me to put it in the chat box. Yeah. You click on this link, and I have started the game in the background, so you can play the game. Have you played it? Have you started? So this is the game I have shared with you. If you notice on the top left of the screen, you're able to see a timer ticking. The timer is ticking on the top left of the screen. What do you have to do? There are clues given, and you have to pin the clues to the dots given. So for example, Kolkata Knight Riders. So where would you find this cricket team of Kolkata Knight Riders? In Kolkata. So Kolkata is the capital of West Bengal. So I will pick up this and I will pin it to West Bengal. Then Gujarat Titans, I will obviously find in Gujarat. So if I know where is Gujarat, I will obviously pin it in Gujarat. Delhi Capitals, I know is in Delhi. So I will pin it in Delhi. Chennai Super Kings would be in Chennai. Now, place where Mumbai Indians belong to, and I think it is this place. And Punjab Kings, according to me, would be here. Lucknow Super Giants would be somewhere here. Hyderabad would be here. And Bangalore would go here. So Rajasthan Royals is the only one left, and I'm going to click it here. Now, I am thinking like a student, so I will place anything, anywhere, and I will click on the submit button. Once I do that, you can see on the right-hand corner of my top corner of my screen, I am getting to see my score. My game is complete. I have 5 correct answers out of 10 in 1 minute and 57 seconds. So I want to see my space on the leaderboard. And for that, I will put my name as CED and click enter. So you can see people have been playing my game. Prachi, congratulations. I can see you played the game today and you've got a complete 10 in 54 seconds. So my teacher wants me to only see a couple of students. I came 22nd, if you see, with 5 answers correct. But now I want to know what the correct answers were. So I will click on show answers. And these are the answers I have given. I can check on the correct answers that my teacher wants me to know. Once I do that, I get to see my answers again, where I went wrong. I can analyze, I can go back and start again. So that option is also open to me. Okay. So I have one new message there. Okay. So thank you for telling me who the Na is. Parvati ma'am played and she stood first. Congratulations, Miss Parvati Menon. You've done a brilliant job. So absolutely fun. And I hope you enjoyed it. It was a simple game. All those of you who played with me. Okay, I will still share my screen with you. I want you to know what you can do with gamification. Of course, I had kept the sound off. Okay. But there are many other things you can do with this gamification model. So I'll still bring myself on the screen. It keeps hiding me. Now, this was a kind of a map. What if I wanted to make an anagram? Over here on my screen, you can see the options available. The same game I have converted into anagram. Okay. So ETH could probably be the, and you write the, capital, probably, or the place. And you could probably play it this way. Another way the game could be played is flashcards. You make flashcards on the same thing and you start asking questions. Where would you find Sunrisers Hyderabad? And the students will answer. If they say Hyderabad, you give it right. And the place where Mumbai Indians belong to. And the student said Mumbai, put a tick. If the student says Delhi Capitals is in Madras, wrong. Kolkata Knight Riders is in Telangana, wrong. That's how you could play the game. Flip the question. And you see what happens. Right? So there are many other ways in which you can use. There are flip tiles, there is a hangman. The other options, there are many options. Another very interesting option available is the random wheel. It's one of my favorites too. So you can play a random wheel. Now identify the places in the clues with the number given on the map, locate and label the correct answers in the map book. There is a wheel here with clues. I am going to say spin the wheel. When I spin the wheel, it tells me Royal Challengers Bangalore. So the student has to write mark Royal Challengers Bangalore in Bangalore in the map book, because this says bring it in the map book tomorrow. I can either eliminate the question, which means the question will be wiped out of the screen, or I resume and the wheel spins again. Of course, it spins back to the same thing because I did not eliminate it. But if you eliminate it, it's a very useful tool for revision. Where would you find Kolkata Knight Riders? And you can choose to eliminate. If you eliminate, the question will disappear from the wheel. So next time when you spin it, you won't come back to the same question. There is also another thing that I have created, which is a history quiz show, like a game show. So that I will share with you. You can play it for a minute. And then I will share that link also in the chat box for you. For just a minute. I'll share that link in the chat box for you. It's a game show kind of a quiz based on history. Chapter is nationalism in Europe. Now what happens is, in this particular game show, you get to play the question. So when an abstract idea is expressed through a person or a thing, it is called anything. So I have chosen this answer and my answer is correct. And I got 100 points. I got time bonus. I also may be given a bonus round. Now look at the way this bonus round is taking forward. Now, this is a very tricky bonus round. If I don't keep track of the question marks, I'm going to go minus 200. Do you see that? And the teacher has once again put a bonus round there. And now I got my plus 100 back. So this is how you can create your game. You may choose to continue playing it. Due to time constraints, I will stop the game. But you may choose to continue playing the game. And I want to take you to another quiz. So I want you to move to another platform, which again I will share in the chat box, which is quizzes.com. So you go to quizzes, joinmyquiz.com, and it will ask you for a code. I'll paste it all in the chat so you would know. You either click on this link in the chat box and you go to joinmyquiz.com and you play the quiz. I will now not take too much of your time. Any educator at CED would love playing this game. It's going to test all the learning that you had at CED because it talks about national education policy. It's something that all of us love. And I can see a lot of people have joined. I'm going to start. The code will always feature on my screen. So at any point in time, if you want to join in seeing others play, you are welcome to join. Come on, buck up. Now look at the leaderboard. Taju, okay, Anne is at 850, Radhika at 840. Out of the 15 people who answered out of 20, 8 got it right. And another 7 got it incorrect. And I choose to move to the next question. Now I am able to see the leaderboard very, very carefully. Time up. Manisha is at 1640, followed by Anne and Hema. And once again, 8 have got the answer correct. And a lot of us have got answers incorrect. 13 of us attempted it. Look at the leaderboard. And Hema and Parvati ma'am, I think, have come up. 5 have got it right. Many have got it wrong. I think Dr. Nayak needs to conduct more sessions on the NEP now. So Anne, Subbalakshmi, Hema, Rajip and Parvati Menon. And you can see 7 have got it right. Now you see the leaderboard is also changing. And a lot of people are working hard to get their answers right. Come on. Look at the leaderboard change. And VM Radhika Luthra. And 8 have got it right. 5 have got it incorrect. If you have not yet joined, the code to join is still on my screen. I love the leaderboard changing with every question, huh? And this time, very, very few people got it right. Lovely. Anne is leading with almost 5,000 points. So we can still see the top 6 coming up. Okay, some student had raised a hand and has backed out. Someone says, I need help. Did you say I need help or I need more time? What did you want to speak about? Okay. So Anne is still leading with 4920 points and nobody is trying to overcome Anne. This is, I think, the third last question. Okay. A lot of people are catching up with N. And I think I am stuck with only 8 correct answers. I'm on the second last question for people who wish to cover up. Anne has progressed, but others are catching up. Wonderful. And now we move to the last question. PM and AN are contesting with each other today. Now look at the screen. All eyes on my screen. And you look at it. 6470 is the highest. And 15 people for a change got this question correct. Congratulations. Out of the 34 who participated. So I am now going to end the quiz. And when I end the quiz as a teacher, what do I see? An immediate feedback. The students have already got a feedback of what they were answering. I am also getting a feedback of what my students have done. So this is moving a bit. So look at this. Only 23% of my class had an accuracy. And it is showing me that the first place is backed by Anne, second place by Ritika, and the third place by PM. Congratulations to the winners. So I see this, and I feel quite happy that there are 3 winners. Now, as a teacher, I want to know who stands where in my class. So I get a question-wise feedback about the points scored. How much is the accuracy? Which are the questions they got correct? Which are the questions they got incorrect? So I get a complete view. I can scroll horizontally and vertically. I can see where each of my students is in the class. So it's not only giving the students a feedback of their performance, it is giving the teachers an equivalent feedback of the performance. That is where we stand. So I will stop sharing this. There are many games you can create on quizzes.com. It's a free account and a free software. So that's how you can play. And yes, many of you found it to be fun when saying I am first, I am second. But congratulations to all those of you who played the games and even enjoyed yourselves in the process. This is exactly how we as teachers are expected to transact our curriculum in the classroom, making a joyful learning experience for the students. So with this, I will take you forward. I made you play these. I will not take up too much of your time now. So I did play this. So these game elements leverage our love for competition and reward. Use it to encourage certain positive actions. So this is for the winner, and you get a central concept of gamification. By changing the way people think about behavior, gamification can change people's habits. And if you have won today, then congratulations, you have completed gamification. With this, I express my gratitude, heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Priyadarshi Nayak for giving me this opportunity to present myself at CED Foundation. Thank you, Firdaus ma'am and team CED, who's manned this session beautifully today. And thank you to Laila ma'am for the brilliant introduction and moderating this session. Thank you to all of you, dear participants. for constant interaction in the chat box. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. And if you have any question, comment, or feedback for me, or a takeaway for your classroom, please mention it in the chat box. I'd love to hear from you. And I think you have this opportunity to even unmute and say a few words. So I'd love to hear from you.
Good evening, Khyati ma'am.
Good evening, Parvati ma'am. Tell me.
I've always wanted to, be a participant in your session, and it's not a minute wasted. I enjoyed the session thoroughly, and the games and the topics. I mean, it just lent itself so beautifully to the session, and I'm taking back a lot of points that I can use in my classroom. Even though I'm not that tech savvy, I'm working on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I am very much moved and touched by those words. I am absolutely humbled and honored. Thank you so much.
Khyati ma'am.
Yes, Anjali ma'am, tell me.
I really enjoyed. I just became like a child there, and winning, coming first in that game really made me so happy. And when that Anne was me, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that game. And when you are saying somebody is, who will beat her, I didn't to be, beaten. And, such thing, if we do it in the class, I feel, we can get a very good response. Thank you for this new thing. I really enjoyed it, ma'am.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
In my class also. Thank you very much for giving such a wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I am very much humbled by that feedback. I also heard somebody else having spoken in between. Somebody who wanted to speak and could not. Please tell me. You may raise your hand if you wish to, the digital hand, so we can recognize you and let you unmute. Yes, somebody had this question in the chat box. Meena PV. Is it practically possible during class hours? Well, I make my classes play. My grade 9, 10, and 12 very happily play these games. I don't know about you, but my children enjoy it. I'm hoping to hear from more people. If you could unmute and share your questions and comments, I would love to hear.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Here.
This is
It was
Yeah,
a
can
really
you hear
wonderful
me?
session, ma'am. You have already helped us to understand
1
how
minute,
can we
Laila ma'am.
inculcate the value
Laila
through
ma'am,
games. That is very, very important. Yeah.
Laila ma'am, if I may interrupt, there is someone called Nehal Thakur who's talking.
Okay.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. This is Nehal here from DPS Bangalore South School.
Okay.
Ma'am, I just want your some inputs regarding. I'm taking a primary level classes, that is grade 1 and 2. Can you suggest me how to go about some kind of gamification? What you're saying, this concepts in my classes when I'm introducing a new topic in my class.
Okay, so there are many games available for free.
Okay, ma'am.
Even on quizzes, word wall, Kahoot. You just log in once and you type the class and the topic you want to teach, and you will easily find a lot of games available. And then based on the liking and interest of your class, if you're using word wall, you can easily change the game type to a crossword or a map or however you want it, a diagram, however you want it. So it works well.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm taking second language Hindi. So for Hindi also, is it available this kind of games? Or this is for only English and
No,
EVS?
no. I think they are available for Hindi also.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Bye. Any other person? Otherwise, over to Laila, ma'am.
Ma'am, thank you for giving us such an opportunity to attend your workshop today. It was a really very nice and very interactive session.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Kiran Tandon, are you saying something? All right. Over to Laila, ma'am.
Good evening again. It's a wonderful session, and I believe that through the games we can create even values too. And through joyful learning, children will be already been appreciated. And so also the rewards will encourage them to participate in the games. And through the games, we can already inculcate the habit of listening, participating, as well as learning too. So thank you so much, ma'am. On behalf of CED Foundation, as well as our founder, Dr. Priyadarshi Nayak, I would like to record our heartfelt thanks to you, Miss Khyati Dwarkadas, who had already enriched and empowered us on the topic gamification in learning. So, gamification is based on numerical, logical, and situational judgment and personality tests that you have already introduced and helped us to enjoy too. Thanks a lot to all the participants and those who have won in this particular small competition, but it played an important role. Thank you so much once again. Have a nice day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you once again to everyone at Team CED. Looking forward to meeting you in future sessions. Goodbye.